Kenya as a country has been alive with talks of empowering and encouraging the youth to participate in agriculture, many of whom suffer silently under the weight of food insecurity and the high cost of living. Numerous workshops and seminars targeting this ballooning number of young citizens have been held with the hope of fostering a generation of productive and prosperous young farmers. Key stakeholders have noted that a vibrant agriculture sector has the capacity to absorb a substantial percentage of this youth through farming and agribusiness along the lines of dairy, horticulture, and livestock value chains.
It's time now to prepare for the chicken.
Kenya has an exceptional youthful population. According to the recent census conducted in 2019, the youth bracket accounts for 75% of the total population. And with agriculture continuing to be the predominant source of employment, supporting approximately more than half of the country's population, the large youth population can be considered an important asset for agricultural development. According to the Agricultural Sector Development Strategy 2010 to 2020, agriculture sector is the backbone of the Kenya's economy, contributing to approximately 24% of the annual GDP. In this regard, the sector has enormous potential in eradicating poverty and food insecurity, while increasing wealth and employment creation for the young people who choose to throw their hearts to the farm.
The message to the Kenyan youth is agriculture is sexy. It is not something you do because you don't find any other job. There are so many opportunities. Grab them, use them, and capitalize on them. Agriculture can really be an important cornerstone of the future for the Kenyan society and the economy as a whole.
Sitting on less than an 1/8-acre piece of land here in Mathare slums, Htown Farm, which is managed by Huruma Town Youth Group, is home to over 30 dairy goats and over 100 birds. Could be this is not one of those big stories touching on agribusiness, but trust me, it's worth your time. Youth and agriculture, that's the focus of our show today. Born and raised in Huruma slum in Nairobi, Kenya, in a family of 8 and orphaned at the age of 9, Kevin Odony is no stranger to the struggles of living below the poverty line. Like many in his circumstance, he longed to change his life and that of his community for the better. And that's how Htown Farm was born.
I can say it was hard at first, but the moment we started, even the young people embraced the idea. And before, like right now, we are 27 in total group membership. But as we started, we were only 5. So to encourage others to come on board, it was very hard. But after they saw what we are doing and seeing the benefit in terms of now food security issue, and also cutting the cost of now the buying of vegetables in the market, you find that we now get it direct from our farm.
Kevin reveals to us different activities their members engage in. We get insights into their dairy, goat, and poultry farming activities.
So the dairy goat project, when we started it, we had only 3 of them, whereby we were funded by the Ministry of Agriculture Livestock Department in 2014. And currently, as I speak right now, we're having a total of 30 of them, of which we have the mature, the middle age, and the young ones. So, and we are milking 8 of them currently. So dairy goat product is one of the key products that people prefer. Even the doctors prescribe for the sick people to get, because it helps when it comes to boosting the immune system, and being that it does not react unlike other dairy products. And then another thing, when it comes to doing the horticulture, we've noticed that there are some new technologies that have come on board, and currently we've started practicing, whereby we have a multi-story which is modern, and it is very effective compared to the ones we used to use earlier, like the gunny sacks, which gets rotten very easily. When it comes to horticulture, it is a good initiative because one, right now even the government is championing the issue of food basket in terms of having kitchen gardens. So we are promoting it because it is one of the things that is going to help us supplement and also supplement our diets on the table each day. And also it helps in cutting costs when it comes to now going to buy food at the market, and at the same time you don't know the vegetables where they're coming from. So these ones, we've grown them the way with the right good agricultural practices, and they are very safe for consumption. So I can prefer and maybe advise people to start doing the horticulture, because we have different varieties when it comes to modern technology. We have the modern multi-story, we have hanging gardens, moist gardens, and even the rooftops. You can make fruit rooftops, so those who are living in these high rise. So it is an initiative that can also help us fight food insecurity. So we started the poultry project in 2010, whereby after realizing that we needed to tap in more resources in terms of now having different revenue streams within our project. So we started with 15 of the indigenous poultry, even though they died at first, having that we were not doing the good agricultural practices. But having introduced the Ministry of Agriculture Livestock Department, they taught us more on how we can do vaccines and also doing animal husbandry. So currently we are having a total of 160 birds, of which we've sold some of them. In total we should be having like 300. Yeah, so it is a growth that we can see it is positive.
As a vision bearer for Huruma Town Youth Group, Kevin has for sure established a number of income streams for the Htown Farm. He hopes that what they have done in Huruma will be embraced by like-minded youths in other informal settlements.
Before COVID, we didn't have much to do because we were doing things just normally. But when things changed after COVID, we realized that there is a big gap that we needed to tap into. When it comes to marketing, we are not only relying on the available market around here. We also get now market from outside because we are now using the apps to get, when it comes to transportation. Find that somebody is requesting for an order, so he requests even the Bolt to come and pick the product. So it becomes much easier. Yeah, we've started doing the value addition, whereby when it comes to dairy goat product, we are making cheese, we are also making yogurt, and also the vegetables, we were just taught by the ministry on how to do vegetable drying. And as we speak right now, there is a training going on making tomato sauce. So this is also plus, because you find that when there is a lot of tomato, a lot of them go at waste.
And as we engage, the other side of the coin still matters. What are some of the challenges attached to this type of agribusiness venture?
The greatest challenge is that nothing comes easily, and it has been a long journey. So many of our young people want things that comes very easy. But when it comes to agriculture or agribusiness, it needs patience and also that passion. So after having realized that we had that, we've pushed with it even despite the challenges, and we are still going, and we know you are going to manage it. Going forward, I've realized that the key thing that we are supposed to have is a good network, whereby we can associate with other people who are doing the same thing, brainstorm and have a way forward in terms of this is a problem that is affecting many people. In fact, our country itself is not food secure. So we are supposed to come together and bring our heads together, involving the government, so that we can do more when it comes to agribusiness. And also, when it comes to funding, the government should fund it effectively so that we can be food secure as a country. The young people, I can say that the world is changing, and we are going back to where we used to be a long time ago. Now agriculture is not a dirty business. It is now coming to a gold mine business. And I think for us to sustain the food capacity for our people, we need to do more of it. So our young people should change the mindset in terms of looking for white-collar jobs, and yet we have our own initiatives here that we can just pump into and boost, which will help our country to be food secure in future and also create more job opportunity. And it is not necessarily for you to go to the garden. You can come and act within the value chain. We have processing, we have traders, we have transporters, so you can engage yourself in any of the value chains.
And that's Kevin's story. There is another story to be written, and that's your story. And to help you do that, let's talk to our expert and see how you can make your agripreneurship passion viable. Our expert in this particular episode is Jane Gateri, Sub-County Agricultural Officer here in Mathare. Thank you so much, Jane, for finding time for us. In this particular episode, we are looking at youth and agriculture and case study, Htown Farm. You've been working with Htown Farm. Tell us about the journey.
Yeah, we started with Htown back in 2009. We had a program in Nairobi called Urban and Peri-Urban Agriculture Project, which was going on for 4 years. And they started by making briquettes. We bought for them a machine to produce the briquettes. They were selling at Kahawa Garrison. And they started from there, and then we had another project where they wanted to start dairy goats. So we bought for them the starter kit of dairy goats, male and female, and they started the production.
What's your level of engagement with Htown Farm as we speak?
We are extension officers, and so we have to have contact with the group frequently, preferably every 2 weeks. We normally go to give them technical advice, what to do. They have the farm where they do horticulture farming, so we give them the technical advice, the seeds to procure, the new technologies that are coming up. The same thing we do with their dairy goats. There is an extension officer who is in charge of the dairy goats and meets the group frequently to give them the technologies for breeding.
When we talk of youth and agriculture, what are some of the challenges that youth face?
Specifically the youth, they are like, the youth that we have here in Mathare are likely not to be having jobs. They are hustling, they are doing cashier work. So we may train them in income generating activities, but they may not have the seed capital to start off the work. That is where the main challenge is, the seed capital. Otherwise, about organizing groups, youths are organized in groups. They are very good at unity, but we have that one major problem of the seed capital to start up the activity that the group intends to do.
And looking at the potential of these youth groups, and for instance, today you have a training. What are some of the areas that you look at, especially when you are conducting mentorship and trainings?
We normally consider the enterprises that they can start with little capital. Now that I've mentioned capital is the main issue here. And also the market, how they are going to market. First of all, starting with their own community. The activity that they are going to do, is it going to benefit the community, first of all, before you go to the outside market? So those are the areas that we normally look at, the capital, the market, and whether they will be able to undertake that project. We are trying to make them form the groups. They start the group so that we can come in now as trainers and show them what they can do. We'll train them on several activities, starting with something like making yogurt. We'll train them on rearing poultry. We'll train them on kitchen garden, just having some micro gardens where you can get your vegetables. We'll train them on some other income generating activities like making multipurpose liquid soap. Those are things that you can just sell within the local area. Okay. The market is ready.
Looking at Htown Farm, I'm meant to believe that, nowadays they're even doing value addition. How do you help such a group?
Ours is to pass technical know-how to the farmers. So if they are interested in value addition, we have that knowledge. We pass it to them. We do with them the demonstrations, everyday demonstrations, up to when they catch up completely and they are able to start on their own. Groups like in Mathare, our work is a bit easy here in Mathare sub-county. We have 473 registered groups. Self-help groups, women groups, youth groups, all of them are not segregated, but the total is about 473. So it's very easy for us to maneuver through, get in touch with the local leaders. They connect us to the groups. We do a lot of collaboration with the organizations that are working in the informal settlement. For example, currently we are working with one called Save the Children. Save the Children has been empowering women. From Village Savings and Loan Association, they show them how to do their own savings and how to loan to the members. And from there, these members can get the capital to start the projects that we are now showing them how to do them. Yes, that's another way of generating the income instead of waiting until when the government can come in and give you some money as seed capital. The groups can generate their own capital by doing the savings amongst themselves.
What are some of the key areas, especially in this kind of setups? What are some of the areas that the youth should be looking up to?
Something like waste management is very important. There's a lot of waste here in Mathare. You can use that waste to do so much. You can do composting and you'll sell that as manure to the people who have the big farms. We've been showing the groups about composting. We've also shown the groups about how to do briquettes. Briquettes, we are using the agricultural waste. We are not going to cut trees. We are the same ministry that deals with forestry, planting of the trees, environmental planting of the sustainability of the environment by planting trees. So we make sure that they utilize that agricultural waste, forestry and agricultural waste, to make those briquettes. Briquettes is charcoal that can be used for cooking.
And what about the kitchen gardens that are being set up in, especially in slums?
In this slum area of Mathare, we do not have very large farms. We have very small portions, 10 meters by 10 meters. So we've come up with new technologies. We have what we call the multi-story gardens, where we plant on the gunny bags. That's a vertical farm. We have the cone gardens, and we have shown our farmers all these technologies. Once we get a new technology, we must transfer the same information that we have to our farmers. Yeah, but we are not able to go to individual farmers. Any farmer who is interested in meeting the agriculture officers must be in a group. Because also of our numbers, the staff to farmer ratio, it's a bit higher. We cannot be able to go to one farmer at a time. We have to meet them in a group of about 10 to 20, 15 being the average number. Okay. Yes.
And you talked about seed capital as one of the challenges that the youth are facing. What do you think should be done about it?
We normally try to list down those as the projects that we intend to do in a financial year. If there's a group maybe that requires like the greenhouse, if there's a group that requires to do yogurt making, they will require the coolers. So we normally request for those materials. The county government can fund just a small number because we are very many sub-counties. In Nairobi, we are 17 sub-counties. So for Mathare, you might find 1 or 2 groups have been funded in a financial year. And so, because we are not able to meet all the population of Mathare by that funding from the county, that is why we are showing them how to do village savings and loan. They do for themselves as part of source of the capital.
When you're looking at some of these projects, for instance, Htown Farm, how do you think other stakeholders or even other organizations can come and help such organizations such as Htown Farm?
Now, Htown, where they are currently, it's a bit congested in terms of space because they have expanded. From the Htown we started with back in 2009, today we are in 2022. It's been a success story. They've grown. They've moved from 3 dairy goats. Today they have, I don't know the number, 20 to 40, very large number. And they would require to have a bigger area, preferably a farm bought somewhere, a plot somewhere, where they can move their project to. So that is where maybe an organization can come in and support the group. They are also very good at training other people. And when we go for training there and we have a turnout of about 100 people, it's now too congested for us. So if they can have a bigger field where other people can be going to learn, our farmers from Nairobi County can be going to learn, that can be very good.
Training and mentorship. Those are the keywords that I pick from our expert today in regards to youth and agriculture. Food for thought. And that marks the end of our show. Let's meet next time, a different location, looking at farming today with a new agri perspective. Till next time, my name remains Elijah Mwangi.